Hello, tak gameplay, tam ponownie w kolejnym odcinku z Vampyra i co, lecimy dalej, tak w eksplorowaniu szpitala i też no pytaniu się też ludzi i poznawaniu też ich, a później tylko kąsania, to później. No i co, lecimy dalej z fabularką, nie? Także ja...
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Właśnie, to też chodzi o jakby no siłę psychiczną, patrzcie, hipnotyzuje na 2 jest, nie? Właśnie dlatego, że ona jest no mech.
Do you require...
Healem.
I have no need.
1000 ma heala, no nie ma git. Ale no, psychika jest seeding.
And why do you believe you're...
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am.
Please.
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But
Who are you really?
Is that not enough for you?
I'm curious to know who you were before.
No, it's such a long time ago, I don't...
I'll leave you.
I wiecie, dzięki rozmowie poznania ma więcej heala teraz. To jest sztas. Tam byłem na górę, jeszcze zdążę pójść. Tylko bardziej chcę eksplorować te też tereny. I też lutować rzeczy. Jak mi w ogóle gra pozwala. W ogóle, o, było coś. Jeśli jak świeci co jest jakiś czas, albo się nie świeci. Kto to wie? No i też krew nam jakby zanika co jakimś czasie, ale to norma. Ej, jakby wampir odwiedził bank krwi, to... Albo właśnie największy takim właśnie, no... Miejscu, gdzie mógłby tak, no, wampir mieszkać, no to właśnie no, bank krwi. I tam pracować jeszcze to... Byłby siwy dym. Tutaj ktoś na dworze jest. No właśnie, zmęczenia, to wiem. Nie na dworze. Mi pokazuje, że niby jest, ale od drugiej strony... O! Kto to wie? Trzeba pogadać.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well,
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
it's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
How long have you been?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result.
Sorry, Doctor.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual. Especially concerned...
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Goodbye, now. Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work.
Soldier.
I'm fine. Just do something for this.
Ciekawe to było.
Fear and disgust.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening.
No tak, mam mój level mniej więcej, no.
How is your...
Oh,
Can I...
it's the...
Can I... Can I... Who is treating...
Nobody's...
You don't...
Effect...
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much.
You were not.
How close are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble.
Aren't you afraid?
She's quite harmed.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay.
You do realize she's...
In her madness.
Goodbye.
On every street corner. The daily routine.
I cannot enter. It's locked.
Not now. Please come back later.
It's locked, all right.
No i jest moje biuro, tak?
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. The flower's dying. It needs water.
Lol. Czy z Chinina winion żelaza oraz frut podolso. Skąd miły to wytrzasnąć? Jakieś pojebane rzeczy są tym potrzebne. Środek na sepsę, na anemię, na zmęczenie właśnie. Ale patrzcie, 8, 15. Pojebane.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Ja chcę coś innego i właśnie chcę w tego cienia iść w tą właśnie taktykę. Tylko, że się nie da.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Dr. Swansea asked me to collect you, Dr. Reed. Hurry up!
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea
A
wanted...
crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted.
Sorry.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first.
It's the large building behind the hospital.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital.
Yes,
Exactly.
it really
Please, could you point me in the direction of the morgue?
It's the large...
Why then do you always work the nights?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands...
Your dedication to the Pembroke does you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession all...
London's trenches start hit...
That's all for... Good evening, Mr.
Evening.
Z nim mam do czynienia, no. Chcę go porobić.
How is your stay with it?
Oh, can I? It's the.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Why lie about it?
Come on.
Reconstructive surgery has been very
I
successful.
don't want to wear a bloody mask.
Tell me what.
I went with a hot.
Did you start?
No.
Soldier,
I'm fine.
goodbye.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. A daily routine.
No nic więcej nic nie mogę zrobić, czy mogę go po prostu zabić, no.
So this is how it ends. Farewell, my life, you betrayed me, good.
A giant mold disguised as a hospital.
Good evening. What do you mean? I was. You remember? Thank you. How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dead? To enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in...
How could it be?
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? And
Not really.
what is the general situation?
The situation.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went...
Has the gang been threatened?
Ah, no.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I tried...
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton?
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually.
You're in good hands here. Doctor,
Thank you, sir.
Have you made friends?
Not really. But I recognize
You never came...
you're preaching to the converted now.
Goodbye, Mr. Ham. It's locked.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still...
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of...
I'm sorry, I don't know what...
Yeah, exactly. Wise choice. Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate. Good evening. Goodbye, Miss...
Tomorrow, more bottles will arrive and then sadly depart. I'm managing a train tunnel.
No nie mogę do środka wejść, ja nie ogarniam jak... Czemu? How? Jak mam inaczej niby tam wejść? Dobre pytanie.
It never ceases to amaze me how you, the dead, seem peaceful and...
A że po prostu jestem zbyt upośledzony i po prostu każę jedną kostnicę. Tylko powiedziała, że w innym budynku. Więc może po prostu już na górę trzeba wejść? I na innym budynku. To raczej przejścia nie ma, nie?
I cannot enter.
No tak średnio. Może wyżej? Coś jest ciekawego? No. Jest jeden budynek? W sumie tak konkretnie jeden budynek? No, gra twierdzi tak, że to inny budynek. No, nie, to nie ma wyjścia. Tu jest jedno wyjście.
Good evening, nurse. Goodbye, nurse. my sweet girl.
I'm so tired. Will this shift never end?
Aha, czytuję.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
I'm all right. Considering the state of this place, I should consider myself lucky, I guess.
No tak, no wszystko z nim ogarnąłem, czyli nie mogę go zahipnotyzować.
I'm so tired. Will this shift never end?
All I wanted was to go back to work, to take care of my children.
It's locked. Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Wiecie co, to już w kolejnym odcinku, bo aż 5 minut, także co, jo.